Hey, what's up guys? Phil here from Video School Online and the Photography Masterclass. Today I am doing a photo challenge and I wanted to show you my process. It's something that I've never done before, and actually it's a photo challenge that we have in our Photography Masterclass Facebook group and friends. The challenge this week is to photograph a still life photo. One of those like over the top, kind of like stock photography. I see them a lot where it's like over the top of a desk and then it has like a setup. Sometimes it's like a laptop, sometimes it's like someone writing. I'm gonna go get my equipment now and we'll see what it turns out to be like. I think we will use this. What's up, Ashby?
What's up, Ashby?
Ooh, actually, this is pretty cool. I think this will look good. All right, I got all my stuff, and I think this is a good enough amount of stuff to fill out this frame. What do we need now? We need my camera. So I'm gonna be using my Fujifilm X-T2. I think I'm going to be using the wide angle 16mm lens. So let me set up my scene, my camera, and we'll see what it looks like. All right, so it's starting to come together. I feel like I need to bring my camera up a little bit more. I'm trying to decide if I want like open space in the middle. I think I do, so that it could be for like a graphic or something compared to what this is right now, where everything fills the frame. Let's make a couple adjustments. All right, I brought the camera up higher just so that I could have some more space. I'm gonna have to crop in a little bit because this is a prime lens, so I can't zoom in at all, but I think this will give me a little bit more space to work with. All right, this is looking better. Now I'm going to move around my lights and see what that's gonna look like. All right, so what I've done is I've actually moved the light in a little bit. I tested it out with the filter on and off. I do like it with it on so that the light is a little bit softer. What I was noticing was a big shadow from the globe because the light source was behind the globe. So I moved the globe to the other side, as you could probably see. But the shadows are a little bit too harsh in my opinion. So what I'm gonna use is a reflector. Woo! So I'm gonna, as you can probably see in the Fuji, what happens when I bring it in the reflector, either the gold side or the silver side, it just bounces a little light back onto our scene so that we get a little bit, the shadows are a little bit less harsh. I'm pretty happy with this setup. I think I'm gonna take a couple test shots and then we'll see about opening up the garage door to see what that looks like. I took a few shots that you'll probably see on the screen right now. What I did was I changed the reflector from the silver side to the gold side. I also moved the typewriter in a little bit and made that more the main focus of the shot, just because I thought that was a cool still life shot too. Now I'm gonna go open up the garage door and we're gonna see what that lighting looks like compared to the artificial light. A lot more light, and I actually really like this. It just looks a little bit more natural to me. And so I'm gonna take a few shots like this with this lighting setup, but I think this is gonna be the winner. Even with these shots though, I can tell that the shadows are a lot less harsh because there's so much more light coming in. All right, so I'm pretty stoked with what I think I got. So after I left you from the vlog, well, from the GoPro, I ended up taking a few more shots with the 80mm macro lens. I also took the camera off the tripod with the 16mm, and I was able to get more of a direct overhead shot, which I liked. I just did that with the open garage door setup because I like that lighting a little bit better. So let's hop into Lightroom and see what I got and maybe pick out some of my favorite photos and make a couple little editing tweaks to make them look better. All right, so I got a few photos that I like, and I just want to quickly go through them, talk about some things that happened when I was actually photographing that I didn't talk about earlier. So let's just go through them. Here's the first one with the artificial light from the side. I added the silver reflection to the right, so you can see before, after with the silver reflection. I moved a couple things around, just trying to balance things out. I realized that this turquoise of the typewriter and the turquoise of the camera, it was kind of a nice balance, but I didn't like having them right next to each other. So I moved some things around. Then I took another shot with the typewriter front and center. I wish I would have straightened that out a little bit more. Of course, I'm going to straighten out this stuff in post if I edit this photo. Here again is the shot without the reflector. Here is with the silver reflector, and then I changed to the gold, and I actually kind of like the gold reflector a little bit better. I did straighten that the typewriter a little bit there. And then here you can see the dramatic difference from the artificial LED light to the garage opening with the natural sunlight, which I like a little bit better for this shot. So I move things back up and around, and of course you see the tripod legs, but I'm going to crop in. This is still with the camera on the tripod. I then took the camera off the tripod, GoPro, and I took a couple frames here, just trying to get, again, that shot that I used as inspiration with that open space where it's potentially like a graphic could go or something like that. I backed up just a little bit, got a little bit higher, took a few more shots from up higher, again with the typewriter more front and center. Then I popped on the 80mm, and here we got a couple quick shots using the 80mm, just getting some detail shots. I like that a lot. And now, basically, let's figure out what I would do to edit these. So I do have my original inspiration photo in here as well. So let's go ahead and find the photo that I think I'm going to want to edit. I think I actually want to edit one of these ones where I took the camera off the tripod. This one I moved the pencil in, but I kind of like it without the pencil. We'll edit one of the ones with the pencil in it. So if we want to do sort of a comparison, what we can do is click this button right here. And then if you don't have a reference photo, you just drag and drop a photo in for reference. So now we can see these two photos, and we could actually make some adjustments to this photo on the right if we wanted to make it look a little bit more like this one on the left. This one actually came out pretty close. So let's first crop it. We're going to straighten things out just a little bit. We do want to see this logo of the typewriter, but I want to crop out that GoPro, just crop in just a little bit more. I like this aspect ratio as well. So that's looking pretty good. Then to make it look more like that other photo, I am going to increase the contrast. So I could simply bring up the contrast, or what I might do is just bring down the shadows just a little bit, bring down the blacks. The highlights too, just because the white on the paper was a little bit blown out. So maybe also bring down the white. So overall, the whole exposure kind of has to come down. Maybe bring back the highlights just to bring back some of that contrast. That's looking pretty good. Something like that. Cool. Now I also want to make sure that this is super sharp, so I can add a little bit of clarity to that, adds a little bit more detail to it, but also going down and make sure that our sharpening is on. So let's go down to our detail. So I'm going to boost this up even more, just to 76. And that's looking pretty good. Going to add a little bit of noise reduction. There was a little bit of noise in there, as you can see. If I add that, that helps a lot. Let's go back to our crop, actually. I wish the typewriter was in frame a little bit more. I don't like this line right here. I might have another shot where it's a little bit better. I'm going to make this a little bit larger, as large as possible. Something like that. And that's pretty much where I would go with this. If I wanted to make it a little bit brighter in the middle, maybe I would use like a radial filter just in the middle, like selecting the middle, inverting, boost that exposure just a little bit so that the middle is a little bit brighter. It's a little bit dark. I don't want it over exposed. Something like that might look a little bit good, where you'd put your logo or something like that. I might now just see what this looks like if I copy these settings to another photo. So what I can do is Command C on a Mac, basically copy everything except for the crop. And actually, let's do that again. I don't want the, where are you? Local adjustments. I don't want the local adjustments for this other one. And then let's go to one of these other photos. Maybe this one here. Paste those settings. That looks pretty good. Now I would go in here and crop just a little bit so that that typewriter's centered, straightened up even more. And maybe for this photo, I do need to boost the overall exposure just a little bit. So we can see the before and after. Cool. I like it. Awesome. Well, this has been super fun. Just playing around with the settings, playing around with doing my own still life. I hope you appreciate this video. And just like you, I'm learning to become a better photographer myself. So let me know in the comments what you think I should do next time. If you have another photo adventure for me, if you have any tips or tricks, or if you have any praise for the video or anything that I'm doing, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. And as I mentioned before, this challenge came from the Photography Masterclass Facebook group. So if you are wanting to improve your own photography and you want to become just a better photographer, learn the basics, learn some more advanced skills, we have the Photography Masterclass, which has over 50,000 students in it, learning how to become better photographers. And in the Facebook group, you get the weekly photo challenges, you get monthly photo editing challenges, live streams, all kinds of cool stuff being a member of the Photography Masterclass. So I hope to see you in there. I'll leave a link down below in the description. You get over 90% off with that link, and I'll see you in another photo vlog. Cheers.